Okay. I've said this once before, but we are never going to apologize for a win. I'm sure a lot of people wish that would have been a little less hairy at the end, me being one of them, but we found a way to win it. Before everybody asks the question, I'll head you off at the pass. The interception at the end is completely on me. I own it. It won't happen again. It's my job as the head coach to, in critical situations in the game, make sure it's clear what we want to do. We were running the ball very effectively. I understand why the pass was called. I heard it called. We had been running it very well. We're trying to develop a mentality around here where we finish people off. It's not on the quarterback, and frankly, it's not on the offense coordinator. It's my job to tell them to keep running it. So I own it, and I'm not sure there's much more that needs to be said about that, other than the fact that we need to, when we throw the pick, go tackle the dude and get his butt down. Overall, offensively, I don't think the first half was as ugly as people think. We were backed up in the shadow of our own goal line a couple of times, and in both those, I believe twice, I might be wrong, it might have been 3. But in all those cases, we got a couple of first downs, which is really our goal when we're backed up, is to get a couple of first downs and get out towards midfield and flip the field. Obviously, we were productive in terms of yardage. I thought the problem in the offense, offensively in the first half, was just our inability to sustain. We have a 3rd and 2. We have a power called. The quarterback sees a wide open hitch, and he's right to take it, and the ball gets knocked down. We throw a whole shot in cover 2, and we drop it. Just one play that would have kept the drive alive. Now, give Southern Utah credit. Their plan became pretty obvious what they wanted to do on defense, and they are pretty good on defense. They were going to stay in too high most of the day, very deep too high, and they were going to make us run the ball against a 7-man box and dink and dunk them in the passing game. They were not going to let us throw the ball over their head. They were going to make us go on 12, 13-play drives to go earn it. And in the first half, we just didn't make that play to keep the drive alive. Now, obviously, in the second half, we come out and we score on 3 I don't know if it was consecutive drives, but we go out and score 3 touchdowns, and we're on our way to a 4th when we threw the pick. So, I'm not as disheartened as people might think. We've just got to do a better job of sustaining and making that play that keeps the drive alive. Defensively, I was very pleased with what they did in the first half. Specifically, the turnover after the muffed punt, I thought was a huge play. Great call by Scott Boone. We heat him up, force the ball out quickly. Nigel Haikins makes a heck of a pick. I thought overall we played decent. We held them to 13 points, and that was with having really just a vague idea of what we were going to see. I mean, their film from last year did us absolutely no good in preparation. They went from a ball control, 2 tight end offense to a spread offense playing at a very high tempo. So I thought, given that, our guys did a pretty good job. The first long touchdown is a play that we didn't prepare for because, like I said, you can't prepare for everything in a first game. It was a wildcat formation. The quarterback wasn't in there. They run the power read. We don't fit it correctly, and then the safety takes a bad angle, and instead of tackling it for 12 and living a fight another day, it goes to the house, and that's got to stop. And then on the second touchdown, we lose leverage on the football, and again another bad angle by a safety. Instead of tackling it and living a fight another day, the ball goes all the way. That's got to stop. I don't mind that we didn't fit a play correctly, but the middle safety has got to go get the guy on the ground. I mean, he's the top of the defense, and that was a problem last year, and we're not going to accept that all year this year. We've got to do better. We presented the game ball in the locker room to Gabe Lee, our senior special teams ace, who suffered a knee injury in training camp, and is going to be lost for the season. And the response that he got from our team, I think, was pretty special and speaks to how much they respect him. And now we've got a short week to get ready for a Pac-12 opponent here in Mackay, I watched every minute of the game on Thursday night. Got a great quarterback, big athletic receivers, young offensive line, very aggressive defense. It's going to be a challenge. There's no sense complaining about the short week because there's nothing we can do about it. The schedule is what it is. They played on Thursday night. We played on Saturday afternoon. We just got to go. My first concern right now is getting a report from the trainers and the doctors to find out where we are health-wise. And then we're going to have to manage our preparation this week so that we can be as physically ready to go as we can on Friday night, because it's going to take everything we got. They're a good football team. So I hope with a 7:30 start and a Friday night and a national TV audience that we will pack the stadium. Everybody be wearing white and make it a home field advantage. I can put the 8 gallons of sunscreen I had to put on today away. So other than that, I'll take questions.
Coach, it seems like the offense started to click better once you kind of went more with the quick pace and more of the throwing game. Was that a pre-game plan, or was that an adjustment on the fly?
It was an adjustment. We expected more pressure from them than we got. So in the first half, when we're seeing a lot of too high and it was a test of our patience. And again, we turned the field over a couple times in the first half. We just didn't finish. And then, the challenge in the second half was, okay, if they are going to choose to play us that way, then we cannot get 3 yards a carry. We need to get 4.5, 5 yards a carry. And then if we can pop a play, we can start to use some of the tempo and hopefully wear them down, which I felt like we did successfully in the second half.
Were you pleased for the most part with your offensive line play? Joey got sacked a few times.
The one sack is a miscommunication. It was supposed to be a double cadence, and everybody got it but the center. So that's a mental error, not a physical error. The second sack, we missed a twist. That can't happen. We can't. 53 is their best rusher. That was a look that we had prepared against. We got to do better than that. I think we ran it for about 4.5 a carry. I don't want to speak to that until I get a chance to watch the tape.
You said you'll take a win. I want to apologize for it. Do you feel like this is a step in the right direction for you guys?
Well, I think, we did a much better job of finishing in the second half, which we didn't do a year ago. I mean, it was, 7-0 at the half, right? And then we came out and scored on a couple possessions. We went 3 and out to start the half and got the ball back and went down and scored. So that is improvement compared to last year. I'm not kidding myself. I know that what we did today won't beat Washington State. I get that. But that's why it's the first game. And hopefully we will learn from it and make a big leap from week 1 to week 2. I mean, there were a lot of guys, your left tackle's playing his first real college. I mean, there's a handful of guys playing their first college football. So you would hope that we would make a significant leap from week 1 to week 2. Yes, that you asked, what did we do better than last year? That's a step in the right direction. How many times did we have to settle for field goals in the red zone last year? To go 4 for 4 with touchdowns, that's a positive too. There's no doubt about it. I'm not, I'm not unrealistic. I know what this game was, and we will take a long, hard look at the film, and we'll evaluate personnel, frankly. But there's also a lot of good on this tape, and I'm not going to ignore that either. And the bottom line is wins are really hard to come by. When I walked out at pregame, North Dakota State was beating Iowa State. I don't know what the final was, but it was 17-14 late in the game. 16 FCS teams beat FBS teams last year. I would rather be teaching off a victory than teaching off of a loss.
Is this a game that's kind of hard to get a feel for how
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think we're going to see obviously a very the wideouts that we're going to see next week. The one thing that struck me watching Washington State was the size and athleticism of their wide receivers and how well the quarterback played. And obviously that's going to be a jump from what we saw today. So, yeah, I mean, it is a little bit hard. But the bottom line is you cannot fault our guys for who they played against. Their job is to go out and play against the opponent that's presented, and they made enough plays. I mean, we're not happy about the 2 touchdowns, but the pick off the fumbled punt is a hell of a play. And, you know, we got to the quarterback. There are always going to be things we can do significantly better, but, I mean, I'm not going to look at this and not recognize a good play when it's made because we were playing Southern Utah as opposed to Washington State or Arizona.
Jerico your go-to receiver now?
It's one game. I mean, it's one game. He obviously played great, 13 receptions for a bunch of yards. I'm sure he'd like to have the whole shot back in the first half, but it's no accident that he played well because he's had the best training camp of any player on our team. He had the best academic semester he's ever had in his life. I mean, he has been accountable at a level off the field that we've never seen here in our time. The light bulb went on. He was a young player, and the light bulb went on, and he's living proof that, A, you can't give up on him, and B, when they're right in all phases of their lives, it makes it a whole lot easier to be a good football player. That was a discipline issue that occurred in the winter semester, and that was the deal going into the game, and it's the way it went. So,
I think he played 5 true freshmen.
I know Moen got in the game. James Butler early in the game did a nice job. You know, trying to do a little too much there at the end, just kind of stick it up north and south. Who else got in? Chowder got in, had a couple nice rushes. Kendall Johnson played in the game. So, yeah. And they were meaningful reps, too. It's not like it was a 45-0 game. I mean, they were in there when it counted. So, ideally, we'd not like to have to count on those guys to play 75 plays a game, but we're going to need them in roles, and today's experience was good for them. And I thought Alex Boy, other than the miss hit on the plus 50 punt, I thought Alex Boyd did a nice job today too, and it was his first college game. So overall, you know, again, pleased. So.
Rolovich moved to the sidelines this year. Can you just talk about the reasoning behind that? Or?
Yeah, his comfort level, quite frankly, and when it comes to the play callers, we want to put them in the place that they feel most comfortable. His communication with the quarterback is pivotal in terms of making sure that they're seeing the right things, and it is. We just felt like it was easier for him to look him in the eye and have that conversation as opposed to having to do it over a telephone. And we're able to do that because Cheston Blackshear and some of our younger GAs that have been with us now know what they're looking at. We know that the information that we're getting from up top is good information. So the switch was not that big a deal. It was really more in terms of he was more comfortable, and if that helps him call a better game, then I want him to be more comfortable.
And I assume you don't really know anything about Austin a little bit yet.
Only that I'm very anxious to see the play on film. I mean, player safety is a really big deal, and defenseless players on kick returns and interception returns is a big point of emphasis. And when you see a guy behind the play get peeled back on, you know, obviously you guys know, I mean, I'm not afraid to ask questions of the officials. I don't know if it was – I got to see it on film. I'm just concerned about it because those are dangerous plays, and that stuff's a point of emphasis. I'm not saying they missed it. I'm saying I'm anxious to see it on film because, again, player safety is a really big point of emphasis, and those plays in particular where, you know, on an interception or a long kick return, you know, those guys are supposed to they're regarded as defenseless if they're back behind the play or not even near the action and they get peeled back on. So I'm anxious to see it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I gotta see it on the tape.
You know,
I don't know what it was other than when he came in, he told me he was going to be okay. So.
Anything else for Coach? What do you think about the way the running backs play today? Obviously, Don over 100 yards and Haikins all.
I was pleased. I mean, Don Jackson, 5 yards a carry. I'm not going to complain about that. I thought Nate actually, I don't want to discredit the kid, but that was a pleasant surprise at the end of the game, how physical in north and south he ran. And James Butler, I was pleased with. I thought the touchdown run was good. I thought he was good in pass protection. As any young players, he was an incredibly productive high school player, and he was able to do stuff in high school as most college players were. He was able to do stuff just because he was the best athlete out there. And I think what he found today was, I gotta stick it where it's supposed to be. And I can't out-athlete people. This is college football. But everybody needs to learn that lesson, and I'm happy with him too. And I'm pleased with the quarterback. 4.5 a carry when it was dictated for him to keep it. Some keeps that moved the chains, and I thought he was smart about not taking shots. I could go without the somersault into the end zone, but touchdown, first down, get down. So I thought he did a good job today of not taking, needless shots in the run game. So I think what we run it for, 244 yards and I think 4.5 a carry, around there. So you end up with, 96 plays for 547 yards. It's hard to say what's the problem with the offense. We were productive. We just didn't finish drives in the first half. That was the bottom line, and we got to get that fixed. We good? All right. Thanks, guys.
Yes, of course.
What about it was good for you?
Just seeing how the team performed through adversity through the last few minutes, how they scored, and we came back and responded throughout every touchdown.
Can you just talk a little bit about your, obviously not a debut performance, but I don't think anybody out there really expected this. How did you manage to get so many yards, so many catches?
I just give it all to the O-line to give Cody time to throw the ball to all the receivers, and how Cody performed today was outstanding. So, give it.
Did you like what you saw when you lined up today, you and the other receivers? Obviously, they were playing off you guys quite a bit.
Yes, I say for the receivers, we all liked it, even though they're trying to take away the deep passes. We still responded and did a good job, I feel like.
And Coach was talking about how, I believe his words were, the light bulb went off for you. Just better in the classroom, better in spring ball and fall camp. Can you just react to that? What do you think he meant by that?
Last summer I got in trouble. Last fall, last school year I did bad. Well, I didn't do bad. I struggled. Didn't do my best, but that's what I think he meant by that. And I came out, did good in summer school, doing good. Well, school just started, but building relationships with professors is a good start. That's what I've done since this semester started. So I've just been more mature, and I think that's what he meant by that.
Was it just a personal challenge kind of thing?
I took it as that, just to earn his trust. So it starts in the classroom, because without schools, there's no football.
The offense seemed to open up in the second half. I mean, it seemed like you guys threw a little bit more in the first half. I guess, what do you think the biggest difference was being more productive in the second half?
I don't think it was a difference. I just thought we ran the ball well today, threw the ball well. So I just think it was 50-50 to both.
How much fun was it for you today out there to be so involved in the offense and make all those catches?
It's always fun to help contribute to the team. And with guys like Cody, Richie, Hassan, O-lineman supporting you, it's always fun to have that team support, defense guys to Thank you, guys.
What are your overall thoughts on the game today?
I thought offense did a nice job. We got pinned a little bit. Their punter did a good job of backing us up most of the game. But we did a good job of getting the ball out. We were moving it, just it's hard to finish drives. I thought in the second half we responded really well. It's a pretty positive note to see that last year we struggled in the second half, and this year, both offensively and defensively, we had good second half.
It seemed like you guys opened it up a little bit more, throwing the ball a little more in the second half, especially on first downs and second half this year.
I think it's better, just to keep them honest so they can't load the box on first down expecting run. So I think it was good for us to show that we're not afraid to throw it on first down, but also we're not afraid to run power or zone read on first down as well.
You were certainly looking for Jerico a lot. I mean, he had a huge game. How nice is it for you to see a guy like that really shine on the field today?
I'm happy for Jerico. He was battling for the starting position as Z all fall camp, all summer. He had a tremendous fall camp, and it just goes to show how much he's bought into the program, how much he's willing to contribute to make the team better, and he made us better tonight.
What do you think changed? I mean, Coach was talking about, you guys moved the ball okay in the first half, just didn't really finish drives. Obviously, in the second half, you were able to get in the end zone a few times. What do you think changed from your perspective?
I think as an offense, we knew the defense was battling. I mean, they shut them out in the first half, and we knew we couldn't leave them out there to drive. So it was just kind of a drive within the offensive system, just knowing, hey, the defense is battling. We need to hold up our end. And we came out in the second half and did a good job.
Was it frustrating playing against the two high they were playing? And it seemed like they wanted you to go for 2 plays to get into the end zone instead of that one.
Yeah, on film, they were a big one-high team. Just all the film I watched from last year, there are a lot of one-high. So it was almost unexpected for us to come out and see all 2 high, almost 90-95% of the snaps. And it just takes patience. And I think that's what the offense did well. We knew we had to 12, 15 play drives. And in the first half, we had some good drives, but we knew we needed those extra, 3, 4 plays to get in the end zone.
Certainly, there's always things you want to correct, especially after a first game. But how nice does it feel to just get that first win under your belt?
As a senior, it feels really good, to start off 1-0. I know all the seniors are happy, and especially going 4-8 last year, like I said, sitting on that and just finally get a good taste in your mouth after a victory, singing our song, and everyone's got smiles. Everyone, is going to make mistakes, but it feels a lot better when you get a win.
You like having Rolovich on the sideline?
I do. I don't have to go to the phone too often, and plus, it's a lot better. I'm more of a visual guy. So when he's kind of showing me with his hands or, trying to tell me face-to-face, I think I soak it in a lot more.
Your touchdown run, trying to go jump over and Jeremy. Were you hesitant about that, just trying to stay healthy this year? And it seems like you avoided Sanders for most of the game, but that went on for it.
Yeah, my motto this year, Coach Polian and Coach Rollo kind of told me, is touchdowns, first downs, get down. So if I can score. If I get the first down, say it's third down and we need it, get the first down. If not, get down. Felt like I did a better job today sliding. Didn't take unnecessary hits. But sometimes, that competition in my mind down there by the goal line, I just wanted to get in.
That last pick, Polian took the blame for that one, and it sounds like it was Rolovich's call, and Polian wishes he would have shut it down. Your thoughts on it? Was it a bad call? A bad read, or what do you think?
It was a terrible ball. I threw it right to the guy. I'm not so much mad about the interception as I am about missing the tackle. I let the guy end up scoring, and a lot of times as a quarterback, if you throw the pick, you better make the tackle, and I whiffed on the sideline. But playing the quarterback position, you're going to throw interceptions, and that's part of the game. So it's just the way you learn from it and the way you bounce back from the interception that makes you a good quarterback.
Were you pleased with where the run block and the pass protection was today? It seems like the pass protection was good last year. The run blocking needed to improve. Did that happen today, do you think?
I thought the Union played a great game. We had, 600 yards of total offense. That's obviously a good day for the offense, good day for the offensive line especially. It's a first game jitters. You know, a lot of them, like Austin Corbett, it's his first college career start. So obviously there's going to be some jitters, some butterflies, and some mistakes, but it's like how you learn from it, how you learn from your mistakes. I mean, everyone's been a freshman, everyone's been a sophomore playing in their first game, and, you know, I'm happy for those guys. Feel good about our running game, feel good about our pass protection.
Anything else for Cody?
Your first three starts here were the first three season opening starts here were on the road against Pac-12s. Was it nice to be able to open up at home? Do you think you needed that today?
Yeah, you know, it was a good change-up to play in front of your own fans, get some confidence. Obviously, Southern Utah did a great job tonight. Their defense was all over the field. They made us work for it, and I think we got a lot better. That's a good team we played, and, you know, we're going to reap all the benefits going into Washington State next week.
I feel like you have to turn it up a level, though, to get a win.
Yeah, you know, I just don't want guys to try and do too much. I think we did a good job today. I mean, defense got turnovers. We moved the ball. We scored. I think the problem is going to be getting super psyched for you know, a Pac-12 team like that. So for us, just kind of stay calm, 1-0, take the confidence, learn from the mistakes, and just kind of roll.
All right, thanks, Cody.
Brock, can you just kind of assess the defensive play today?
You know what? I feel like we came out there. You know, we didn't have too many mental errors in the beginning. We played hard. We played intense. We flew around. You know, things were great. They really, you know, they had two big plays on us that, you know, unfortunately they scored on. But other than that, I was definitely proud of the defense today.
What can you take from this one? You know, it seems like it's hard still maybe to know. You know, it was a good effort, great effort, but you know the opponent offensively is not great. Is it hard to know exactly where you guys are still at this point?
I know where we are, and this was just, you know, it's a warm-up. You know, it's a great win. We're going to celebrate all wins as always. You know, I'm proud of the team, proud of our defense. Guys were flying around. It was, you know, basically to just, you know, get our legs loose, you know, get a win under our belt, get that bad taste out of our mouth, and you know what, we're already preparing for next week.
How important was Nigel's interception when you guys backed up and you can come up and make a big play?
You know, that was huge, you know. Anytime you get a major takeaway like that, you know, change the possession, you know, under those circumstances, I mean, it's always great, and you know, it gives the momentum off to the offense so, you know, they can go score.
How different did their offense look from what you thought you were going to see? You had a new coordinator and nobody really knew what they were going to look like. I mean, did you envision a spread or something you were thinking?
You know, we practiced a little bit of everything. And so, you know, I think the coaches did a great job preparing us for this game because you know, they showed us a little bit of everything and told us, you know, basically we're going to go out there and, you know, what you see is what you get. You know, we don't really know too much, but we're going to dabble in a little bit of everything during the week. And you know what? We did practice some spread, and our game plan against that, you know, worked great.
Brock, looking ahead to Washington State, they have a really good quarterback. I mean, how are you going to affect them in your game planning this week, or are you going to change positions?
You know what? We're going to watch the film. We're going to bury it tomorrow. You know, go over, you know, our major errors, what we need to do, and we're going to hit that game plan. And you know what? How we played today, you know, we're going to have to ramp it up for sure. You know, we can't have these major mistakes against Washington State. And you know what? We're just going to bring our energy, and we'll be ready.
How did it feel to get a couple of sacks under your belt there?
You know, it felt good. You know, it's always tough to get the first one out of the way. But, you know, it came. You know, a bunch of guys had them and stuff like that. We were flying around. I thought our defensive front played tremendously. And you know what? I'm proud of everybody.
What did you see different from your defense today against the last week?
You know, it was the energy out there. You know, I knew where every person was going to be. You know, it's just one of those things that we've been through so much together, that we've grown together. It's like playing with your brothers out there. And you know what? Guys were flying around. Guys were playing good. You know, we were making tackles. You know, people were coming downhill and making hits as opposed to, you know, sitting back and reading, which I felt like a lot of last year some of our back-end players were doing. And you know what? We had a lot of playmakers back there, and, you know, I thought it was great.
Anything else for Brock?
All right, thank you.
I'm glad. I mean, it's the first step of the season. I mean, I'm glad we got the win. Could have gone better, but I mean, it's the first step of the season, so I'm going to learn from it and move on.
Can you walk us through your interception? I mean, it seemed like you made the break for the wide receiver and just bring the ball.
Oh yeah, I mean, a big emphasis of our defense this year is disguising. So we like to play around with the coverages, the looks we give. So made the quarterback think that the inside was open before the snap. Jumped in. I mean, it was a short yardage thing, so you know they're limited to their routes. Jumped in, guessed right, and got in picked. Yeah.
Did you know that Jonathan had gotten into the quarterback's face on that play?
I did not know that, actually. I'm glad he did. I mean, I didn't know that. I mean, man coverage, I'm just looking at the guys, so. But thank you for telling me.
Yeah, you probably made him release it just a touch early, but the combination obviously paid off.
Yeah, I mean.
Coach, you know, obviously was very happy with you, you know, through camp and into the spring while you got the starting job. Do you feel like you kind of showed that he had the right faith in you today with that and also the fumble recovery?
Yes, but I mean, it's an ongoing thing. It's not just one game. He's justified in his decision. I mean, but I'm glad he made the decision. Worked really hard to get the starting job, and I intend to keep it.
Your first college start at this level, I mean, did you feel any extra nerves, or what were your emotions going through that?
I mean, there's always the first series jitters. I say that until you maybe get the first ball thrown at you or the first hit, there's always those little jitters, but nothing too major. I mean, I'm glad I saw the field a little bit last year because it kind of gave me a little taste of what it's like, but nothing too major.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Nigel.
Thank you.
Chad's going to grab Don Jackson. We'll have him next.
Sorry, guys.
I'm very apologetic. Sorry, Chris. Look, I see you back. You're pissed.
Questions for Don?
Yeah, like Coach P always says, we should never be sorry about a win. I think that we pulled together, offensively. We started off kind of slow. We just wanted to get into the right pace and just get comfortable. I mean, first games are always kind of iffy and funny, but, once we got going a little bit, I felt like we moved the ball really good. Defense was great. Hats off to them. There's some little couple plays that bust every now and then. I mean, that's just going to happen. That's the game. But I feel like the defense was incredible today.
It seems like in the second half especially, you guys, really took it to them offensively. It seemed like you were throwing a little bit more on first down. I mean, do you feel like that kind of opened up the run game by the time I'm down?
Yeah. It's they kind of dared us to do it. Cody took that, and the offensive line took that, and the receivers took that, and said, we're going to go with it. And, the pass game started to open up for us.
Do you feel like a performance like this can lead to a win next week, or do you feel like you guys have to turn it up a notch to really back at 12 opponent?
There's always room for improvement. I mean, we'll never be complacent of where we're at. So, we're just going to go look at the film, and we're going to try our best to look at the stuff that we need to get better at. And, of course, it's Washington State. The Pac-12 opponent, they're good. So we're going to, prepare the best way we possibly can and take the momentum from this game and go into it, head high and try to go bang it out.
How did it feel to get in the end zone, have a 100-yard rushing game?
It felt great. It always feels good. It was the first one of the year. And, I never take it for granted. I love getting in the end zone. I love being able to, give thanks to God and then party with my boys. Simple as that. The U works so hard, and that's their reward to see us get into the end zone. So it's always real good to be able to reward them.
Jerico had a big game at the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
How happy were you for him?
Oh, that wasn't no accident. I knew that was going to happen, from the get-go. Jerico's worked hard the whole offseason to this point. He had a great fall camp. It just shows you. Sometimes it may seem like we don't have a lot of depth, but guys like him that prove that we can move. We have like a really nice receiving core, and I feel like he came out and proved a lot of people may be wrong, and some people that are his supporters proved him right.
What do you think kind of turned him around? It seems like he was not going in the right direction. Maybe about a year ago. What has changed?
Responsibility, like Coach P, and not just Coach P and coaches, us, and it's on the team. Me, Richie, Hassan, Cody, just all those guys on offense. We sat down with them and said, like, look, this is how great you could be. This is how good you can be for this offense, and for us to be successful, we need you. And he took that, and he didn't get big-headed with the opportunity. And he took it and ran with it. He said, he wants to be able to contribute to this team the best way possible. And I feel like that's all he's done, but contribute the right way.
Offensive line effort today, I know they, we're not happy with their performance last year. Did you see more holes this year?
Yeah. The guys, they're always going to work. Just playing running back, there's always some things you want back, some lanes that you wish you should have took. But, I felt like it was pretty up front. Everything that, that was there, we had to take it. So I felt like they worked hard up front. They battled because, it wasn't that wasn't a bad defense there. I don't want people to get that confused. That wasn't a bad defense. And, they worked hard. So I'm happy with it.
Anything else for Don? That'll do it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.